Yo, what's up guys, my name is Mr. Freeze2244 and in this video I'm going to go through the IOI Interactive live stream that came out today. So they did an insider like presentation through a live stream and they went through several things. It was about an hour and a half long and I took down some notes of all of the things that they went through and all the stuff that they revealed, including some of the stuff that's coming out for the next season of Sin, which is coming this Monday. And a lot of the stuff they held back when it comes in terms of dates, but what I can tell you is the next DLC season of Sin is starting on Monday on the 10th of May. And it's called Pride, so that's the Sin that's going to be taking place. And they did show a trailer in the stream itself. So without further ado, I'll show you the trailer right here.
"47, 47, can you hear me? You need to wake up."
Don't listen to her. We don't need her anymore. What does she know? Sitting behind her desk, telling you what to do and not getting her hands dirty. You are much better than that. You are the apex predator. Show them how it's done.
So that was the trailer that they officially released as well. So it is confirmed to be another escalation, unfortunately. And we have 3 unlockables for this particular escalation for the DLC. And that's the Narcissist suit. And it looks like basically a suit. It looks like a bunch of mirrors wrapped around a suit. Did I say that right? Is that right? Or is it the other way around? Or was it a suit wrapped around a mirror? No. Yeah, I'm right. Yeah. It looks like a bunch of mirrors just glued onto his suit. It's really weird. Not my particular taste, I'll say that. But yeah, that's the suit you're going to be unlocking. And there's a sniper rifle called the Majestic, which resembles the Black Dragon sniper rifle from Chongqing. I'm assuming it's going to be the same sort of sniper rifle, but it's got like a peacock wrapped around the front of the barrel. So it does look kind of cool, but it's very... It just doesn't fit any of the maps, in my opinion. It's probably cool for this one escalation, but I'm not sure how it would really fit in other maps. Also, what we get is a sword called the Proud Swashbuckler, and it resembles a lot of like the Ornate Scimitar, which you get from Dubai. But yeah, the escalation is called the Pride Profusion, and they did go in to explain a few things about the escalation itself. And they did, which was actually quite interesting, because they said that it's basically challenging you to prove you are the best and how proud you are of what you can do. And it says depending on how you do your objectives, it changes the experience of the escalation. So I'm guessing we're going to have a bunch of objectives and you can kill them in all sorts of different ways. It doesn't specify. And depending on which way you do it, whether it's an accident kill or a fiber wire kill or something clever or something cool, then it will change, maybe change the outcome or something like that for level 3. Who knows? But I'm just going by what they said in the live stream itself. Then they go on to explain how flexible escalations are and that how it allows them to tutorialize the new mechanics they have that they're introducing into the game through the escalations. And they're letting them learn through each stage, because there's 3 stages of an escalation. So it's a good way for them to introduce new mechanics. And says they also state that there's things that they can do with escalations that they haven't done yet. So that will basically hint to future escalations that could be introducing new things too, which is interesting. But I don't know. To me personally, I'm burnt out on escalations themselves. I just don't find them that interesting anymore. The deluxe escalations and the DLC escalation, to be fair to them, are amongst some of the best. The DLC one was okay, it wasn't great, but I'm hoping this one's going to be a little bit better. It sounds more interesting anyway, for sure. But after that, they went on to explain that there's going to be a new elusive target coming, a brand new one. It's going to be called the Iconoclast. I think that's how you pronounce it, I'm not completely sure. And they didn't really go into any details about it at all. They just showed like an image on the screen of 2 pistols that, you know, barrel to barrel. And, you know, obviously, that's all the information I have for the elusive target. All they said really was that it's coming soon. So on my best guess, assuming, because we just had the elusive target last Friday, went out this Monday. So I'm assuming it's either going to be this Friday, because it's always on a Friday, or it's going to be next Friday. No idea what map it could be in, but we've already had one. Was it? We already had one in Dartmoor, so maybe Dubai. They're going to have this one. I'm not completely sure. We'll see. And another thing they announced is that they're bringing back community featured contracts. So we've had featured contracts since launch now through like major websites like Eurogamer and MinMax and things like that. So I think they've exhausted all those agreements that they've had with other people, but now they can go back to community created featured contracts. And I assume that you submit them through the Hitman forums, I guess. I'm not completely sure. I'm not sure if they went into too much detail. I wasn't really paying much attention to that because contracts aren't really my thing. But the biggest thing that they probably come out of this whole live stream is a big change that's coming. It says they're going to be making changes to the lighting. They said that the lighting team basically went through the Hitman 1 maps and the Hitman 2 maps within Hitman 3, and they're looking at the enormous amount of bloom that you get from exiting certain locations or entering certain locations. And he referenced entering the field lab in Sapienza, which I can show you right now. And I touched on this in my Hitman 3 review as well about this lighting system. And yeah, this is the lighting what they're talking about really. It's overexposed, and he specifically mentioned as well when you're in from a bright environment and you're going into a dark room, it's pitch black, and they're going to basically brighten up those areas and make it look more realistic compared to what you're seeing here on the screen. It's quite ridiculous. So I'm glad they're making that step to making those changes. But they didn't mention Hitman 3 missions. I'm not sure if they think it's just a Hitman 1 and Hitman 2 maps problem, because that exact problem exists in current maps like Dartmoor, for example. So these problems are still there in current Hitman maps. Dubai, for example, as well. They do have these exact same issues in Hitman 3 maps. So hopefully that was just a mistake on his behalf when he said that. So I'm hoping it's all 3 games maps, not just the Hitman 1 and 2 ones, because it exists on Hitman 3 as well. Which I thought it was just an auto exposure problem, and a bloom problem. Like the bloom is obviously too high. But the next thing they go on to mention is about the problem that most people have about NPCs preferring bins to toilets to puke up in. So when you go and use a medic poison on a target or an NPC or whatever, they would often prefer to be sick in a bin, and you can't do anything with that NPC. If you want to go and take his disguise, for example, or you want to take him out secluded area in the bathroom, NPCs would often prefer bins over to toilets, so you can't drown them. So the reason why they said that's been a really overcomplicated thing for them to sort out is because they have like several different types of bins that they have, like 5 or 6 different types of bins in that, and it's not been an easy process to figure that out, but apparently that's being fixed as well. So that's a good addition to the patches. That's going to be coming on Monday. They're also adding a performance mode for Nintendo Switch, so it will be a 720p 60 FPS experience or a 1080p 30 FPS experience on Nintendo Switch. Also, another thing that they're adding for Nintendo Switch as well is the ability to use the marksman perk for sniper rifles on the Nintendo Switch. Previously, you couldn't be able to do that slowdown time for sniping, because I had this question on my channel just a couple of days ago asking how to do the slowdown time for the marksman perk on a sniper rifle on Nintendo Switch, and I couldn't answer the question because I did not know. And now, gladly, that they are adding that feature, so that's a cool thing. Next thing they mentioned as well is they now have an official way to contact IO Interactive about bugs reporting and stuff like that. So if you go to ioi.dk/player-support, you'll be able to report through the official channels about any encountered bugs that I've encountered. So that's the best place to go, and it will show you a list of all the things that they're aware of, so you don't have to report some of the bugs. So if you are experiencing a bug and you go on that particular link, you could potentially see that they're already aware of most of the bugs, and they do read a lot of the posts that they made about all the bugs that are in the game, so they're most likely aware of a lot of things that you report anyway. But at least now there's an official way of doing it now, instead of going on to Reddit or Twitter or whatever. Next thing you mentioned is the Elusive target changes of formula. Travis himself mentioned that it was something that he mentioned in a blog post many months ago before the game was released, and he was basically just relaying messages that was passed by to him at the time, and he apologized, saying that he was probably pretty much jumping the gun on that whole situation, and he should have said that it probably wasn't going to be ready for launch, and that he did however state that it could still come like in future for future elusive targets, but I don't know if that's ever actually going to happen. I would like a change in formula of the elusive targets like they said, but I'm not sure. It depends on what their player count is. If they're still getting a high player count, of people playing at the time when the new elusive targets come out, I guess they will give him more of an incentive to push ahead with the whole changing of the concept of elusive targets. It definitely needs a refresh. I think it's gotten stale just 2 or 3 years ago, honestly. I think it needed something different, something more. It just needed something different, obviously. But I'm not completely sure what to do to make them even a little bit better. Maybe, I don't know. I couldn't possibly say. Next, they went on to say about their stance on mods at the moment, because there's a lot of cool mods that are coming out for Hitman recently, and some really, really good ones. But they said they wanted to make it an official stance on the whole modding situation, but they are not addressing it yet, because they're still trying to confirm what they are okay with and what they're not okay with. One thing that they did specifically mention, though, that they're not okay with, well, they're not making that officially known yet, but the one thing they said that they have a problem with is being elusive targets being leaked early. And so I've been able to play elusive targets early through mods, and I've recorded footage of these set elusive targets, so I can release them pretty much on the straight when the elusive target comes out on that Friday. I have never released a footage early. I've never released or leaked any kind of like elusive targets early to anybody, and I wanted to respect the developers for that situation. I even spoke to Clemens about it as well through Twitter, and I spoke to him about the whole situation as well. And like I said, I wanted to respect the fact that, we don't want to spoil the elusive target for anybody. I don't want to spoil anyone's fun or anything like that. But elusive target videos were already out by the time the elusive target actually did come out. So, and they don't really like it being spoiled, because obviously it ruins their opportunity to get people excited for it, and it ruins the opportunity for the actual announcement itself to share more information themselves. And whether by the time elusive target comes out, people are always going to be saying, "Oh, I've already seen it, I've already watched it," or whatever it is. Then people won't be interested, and they lose the players, So I get it. I completely understand that, and that's the reason why I didn't want to spoil it at all anyway. I was just playing it personally so I could record my videos in advance, and that's the only thing, and there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, they haven't made an official stance on where they are with mods, but I'm sure that will come, and when they do, I will be sure to update that, because I don't want to be talking about any subjects that they're not comfortable with me sharing. The last thing they basically pointed out in the stream that was mainly a good point about everything was their DLC pricing justification. The way they wanted to justify the price of this current DLC. So at the moment in the UK, it is £25 for all 7 packs of the DLC of the Seasons of Sins. And it would work out to be either £25 for all 7 if you buy them all out now, or £4.19, I think it is, for if you want to buy them individually. So it's just a couple of pounds more if you buy them individually. Their justification for the pricing was that the Requiem pack, which contained the white blood money suit, the chrome pistol, and the pale duck in season 1, cost $5, and that was a suit and a pistol and a explosive duck, and that didn't include an escalation. This time they've included 2 unlockables, a suit, and they've included an escalation, all for the $5 as well that they stated before. So that is their justification for the pricing itself. I don't agree with it. You can pick holes in it, because you can say that the expansion pass costs £30 and we got 2 fully fledged out maps. We got 2 or 3 sniper maps, and all a bunch of stuff. And you had the special assignments, you had the all different sports packs and stuff like that, all that came into the expansion pass itself for Hitman 2. You could say that the Patient Zero bonus missions in Season 1 was, like, I think it was £17 at the time, and we had 4 fully fledged out missions that will completely change the original maps. So I'm not completely sold on this whole justification for the DLC pricing. I think it's overpriced myself personally, especially now we pretty much know that we are going to get 7 escalations through these 7 packs of DLC, but I'll cover that in a separate video after I complete the Monday's DLC 2. I want to give it a chance at least before I make my position clear on the whole thing. But overall, that's all the information that came out of that live stream. That's the main points anyway. They are releasing the Season of Sin roadmap this Monday. I will get to that. Obviously, the DLC is being released as well, so I'm going to prioritize the DLC first, and then I'll get around to showcasing and explaining through the patch notes and the DLC stuff like that, and all the roadmap and things like that on Monday. So there is going to be maintenance early on in the day for Monday, so don't expect it to go live straight away. So expect it to be quite late videos, but I'll try and get around to it as quick as I can. If not, it will be one video on Monday, and the second video will be on the next day, as soon as I can possibly do that. So there's plenty to look forward to, and yeah, I'm interested to know what else is going to be in store for the next season, and plenty to play, plenty to talk about. Yeah. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, what you think about all this stuff, or what do you think about this DLC reveal. Let me know in the comments. I'm interested to see what you guys have got to say. Thank you very much for watching. Feel free to drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. Hit the bell notification to be notified of all future videos and live streams. Consider supporting me on Patreon, or even becoming a member of the channel by clicking the join button below or clicking the link in the description. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys there. Cheers.